Hello there. We are back with another video. For those who are new here, hi, my name is Ricky, and this is Ricky Stars, where we like to talk about different topics of conversation, such as overconsumption, gaming, anything you can think of, we like to talk about. And if you are new here, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and welcome. So, if you clicked on this video, you've noticed the title. We are going to talk about the wedding industry. And just to give you a little bit of background, I have been working in event and PR marketing for about the last almost 10 years, 9 years or so. I got my degree. Part of my degree is in PR and marketing, worked for major corporations, major event companies, and now my husband and I own our own event planning company. And so I've worked with a lot of clients with different budgets and different capacities. And there's a trend that I'm noticing now, and we're going to talk about this trend. And the trend is that people are spending way too much money to get married on their wedding weekends. And if we go back in time, if we had a time machine and we went back in time, we would see that back in the days, this was not the case. Weddings used to be pretty much about money and family and keeping money in the family or joining forces, family forces, about survival and different things like that. That's why we have a long history of arranged marriages and ancestral marriages, especially among royalty, and people of upper classes and wealthy people and all those things, especially among the rich. For everyday people, like I said, it was about love and survival. And basically, you got a license, you found your religious representative if you wanted to have one, if needed, and you put on your Sunday best and you got hitched. And that's all it was about. And that's definitely not the case anymore. It was definitely around the time of the Victorian era when, in the UK, a lot of aristocrats and a lot of people that are part of the peerage system started to really put more emphasis on weddings and having it be a grand celebration and spending money on weddings. That's where the start of the white dress actually started. A lot of people don't know that, but the white dress started during the Victorian era. And so ever since then, we've seen it evolve to grander, and grander events. It's turned into weekends. And there's two main factors that are contributing to the average bride, especially clients I've worked with, spending way too much money on their wedding day. And we're going to look into this a little bit more. So let's get into it. Let's talk about why so many individuals, brides, grooms, all the peeps are spending so much money on their wedding. The first reason is that I call the DIY influencer hustle. So, with the arrival of the influencer wedding and basically taking the status of the celebrity wedding and upper class wedding and making it seem more attainable through social media posts, we have caused a detriment to the wedding day expectations. What does this mean? This means that people see people getting married on social media and they think, well, if they could do it, I can do it too. And look, she DIY'd everything, so she saved money, so I'm going to save money too. But what they fail to realize is a lot of these DIY segments are full of sponsored content. It's full of teams helping this individual. They don't see what goes on behind the camera. And that leaves them with expectations that are unrealistic compared to an unknown figure getting paid to sell a brand to them. Trust me, you do not want to DIY your wedding. You're the bride or groom, and you're the star. And no, your friends are not reliable. Your friends are not the team that the influencer is paying, and you shouldn't put that expectation on them to DIY your complete wedding. And a lot of times, what happens is couples go into with the expectation that they're going to DIY it. They spend so much money, have no results, and end up having to hire someone anyway to pick up the pieces behind the scene, or they don't get the expectation. So let me explain. My first advice is to get a planner and you will thank yourself later, because you're going to save money and you're going to save yourself time, which is the two biggest inputs into your wedding, into this big magical moment that's happening in your life. And the second thing is, you will have more stress if you try to DIY because you don't have a hidden brand behind you paying you money, and you aren't getting paid for your wedding. You're doing the opposite. You're paying people for your wedding. Third is, it's your day. All your energy should be focused on your day, and that's it. You and your partner are the stars, and you need to focus on that. Not running around trying to make sure that your vision is coming to play. You should have someone who is making your vision come to play for you, and you should know that that person is reliable. And also, do not fall for the glitz and glamoury event planners that you see. A lot of us event planners who have been out here before the rise of social media, unfortunately, we were too busy than to sit and take aesthetic photos of all of the things happening. A true event planner knows that on the day of the event, the last thing you're thinking about is taking photos of the decor, is posting an aesthetic Instagram post. 9 times out of 10, the event planners that are really putting in the work behind the scenes, you'll never know their name. You'll never see them all over social media. And those are the people who are going to be the most reliable, get you what you want, and stay within your budget. And make sure that your expectations, your true expectations, not the ones that have been social media washed, but your true expectations are coming to pass. My fourth advice is to budget, budget, budget. Even if you have an unlimited budget, make a budget, and a good wedding planner can work with any budget and won't make you go over. With my company, we work with brides with very, 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 very inclusive budgets, and we also work with brides who want more of a how would I describe it, friends and family vibe wedding. Their budgets, we work with the largest budgets to the smallest budget. It doesn't matter what your budget is, you should be able to work with someone who's going to work with you to still make your day magical. Secondly, the issue with this wedding culture is the rise of the all-inclusive wedding packages, the all-inclusive wedding venue. I'm sorry, but if a wedding venue or destination is offering you all-inclusive, run away. And the rise of the all-inclusive is tied into the influencer culture because they see that that's what you want, and they aesthetically appeal to you without you understanding the fine print. Your bank account is crying because you have left anything that is your true self behind and what you actually desire for, and you have fallen for the noise of social media and the lies that they are making you think you're saving money. But you aren't. You're losing in the end. Once again, my advice is always to hire a professional event planner, an event coordinator, which are two different things. Some people do both, some people just do one. And not some over the top fancy pants with aesthetic pictures that are going to overcharge you. That's how you fall for the all inclusive venue. The wedding planners at the venue are not your friends. They don't have your back. They're just there to take your money. Trust me, I've worked with them. I understand their motive. Their motive is to get the most out of you and give you the least. All inclusive packages don't exist. 9 times out of 10, they're going to upcharge you for the minuscule of things, and you're going to end up upset and paying more. For example, I once had a bride that spent a hefty sum, let's say over 20K, on an all inclusive venue. And then just months before her wedding, she reached out to us to help because she realized that her all inclusivity did not include videography. It did not include the hair, the makeup. It did not include anything that she wanted. And we had to step in to make it, didn't even include all of the decor. And we had to step in to try to make her wedding come true. But in reality, we could have saved her a fraction of the money and she could have had the wedding of her dreams. And the reality of that is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to realize that you've wasted thousands of dollars and you could have saved more and had more. But if you reach out to real authentic people too late, there's very little that they can do to help you. They can still do something to help save the day. But the biggest advice is to drop the DIY videos, get off social media, read some magazines, go to an actual venue, not these all inclusive places, and call a professional for help. Do not fall for the gimmick that you can do it yourself. Oh, look at me. I had the best wedding. I'm handwriting my invitation. Don't fall for any of that, because it's all a gimmick to get you to spend more than you have to. And trust me, you will thank yourself later on if you just listen to yourself, look at your surroundings and learn and know your worth. Know you and your partner's worth and what you guys want and your expectations. And I promise you will see that you will not be spending so much money on your wedding day, and you'll be 1,000 times happier. Let me know your thoughts. How was your wedding day if you're married? Are you planning your wedding if you're engaged? And what is your dream wedding if you are still looking forward to the future of getting married? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe, like I said, and come back for more videos. Bye.